practice when it played?
Felt good. I think the offense, I think we started off good, and then first two periods I think we did well. I think that second and long period going into third down could have been better, but other than that, I feel like we did all right. But like I'm always going to say, there's always room to improve. So.
Justin, how much do you appreciate the uniqueness of you and Russ being in this market, coming from Pittsburgh, and what's your relationship with like him? How much did he help you?
You said how much? I'm sorry.
What's your relationship in when like him? He was just talking about how close you guys are, and I'm curious what you took out of him from when you were in Pittsburgh.
I mean, yeah, of course I learned a lot from him. He's been in the league for a long time, and like he said, he's kind of a mentor to me and a friend. So we were texting before we got out here today. But yeah, I mean, since I've known him since college, he's been awesome, an awesome mentor, an awesome person. So you know, it's great. It was great learning from him last year, and great being in the same room as him last year as well.
What did you guys talk about once you were both here, signed, you know, with your team?
Not much. I mean, we were just happy for each other. Kind of crazy how it worked out, where we were both in the same city. But yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about too much, and didn't get really any specific. We were just both happy that you know, we were able to find a new home. So.
What did you learn from him?
I learned a lot. I mean, there's not one specific thing that stood out. I think just how he goes about his everyday business. You know, you can really see how he, you know, operates and stuff like that. So really just trying to take bits and pieces of, you know, what he does and implement it into my game, my routine, and everything like that. So.
Does he remain a mentor? I mean, you don't have like a real veteran.
Not really. I mean, not really. Just because we're not on the same team, but I could reach out to him, and you know, he'll give me advice without, you know, any hesitation. So yeah.
Have you guys gotten together for dinners, or has there been any time for that since you've been here?
Nah, we've talked about it, but you know, it hasn't happened yet, and I don't know if it'll happen now. The season's coming around, so you know, we'll definitely get some time in there for sure.
What's your thought on the pass rush you faced today?
What's that?
What was your thought on the Giants pass rush?
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They're really good. You know, they have speed on the outside with Brian on the outside, and then of course Dex. He's been a menace for some years now on the inside. I think they're really good. Abdul, he's good too. He can move around a lot. As you can see, they're moving around to the second level. So, you know, I'm excited to see them play this year, and I think they're going to be really good up front. So, yeah.
ABT mentioned you guys had a bit of a slower start to practice.
What's up? What was the first part?
ABT mentioned just a little bit of a lower intensity start practice. Mentioned you came in the huddle and got the guys going. I guess what was said there, how much of your role is going to be not just on the field but vocally as well?
I mean, yeah. You know, I think. You know, I know I'm the leader of the offense, so you know, if somebody else feels that we're going slow, then it's up to me, and it's my job to pick everybody up and get us going. But you know, I didn't think we necessarily started with low energy. I think the middle of practice we might have, like I said earlier, in that second and long period going into third down. But like I said, we want to maintain that high energy the whole time. So you know, it's my job as a quarterback, as a leader of this team, to, you know, get everybody going when that energy is low. So, yeah.
Obviously, Tyrod's been told this is going to be down for a little bit with his knee. What has he meant to you, just, you know, having an experienced voice like that, being at your side in meeting rooms?
Yeah, I mean, he's been great. Of course, he's been in a lot of different offenses as well. So he'll pitch in some ideas when he sees, you know, certain concepts that we run, certain defenses that we face, and stuff like that. So you know, it's good having him in the room, and you know, learning from him. You know, also kind of like Russ last year. Like, I think this is year 15 for him now. So of course he's seen a lot of things. You know, played in a lot of games. So yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great having him in the room for sure.
What stood out to you about Abdul Carter today, number 51?
I mean, yeah, he's athletic. You know, he has a good change of direction. He's almost like I don't know. He has a nice little, you know. So I don't really, wiggle if you want to call it that. But nah, like I said, I saw him after practice and told him he was going to be a hell of a player. You know, so like I said, I'm excited to see him play this year.
We continue to see your chemistry with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. How great is it to have that dynamic duo?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. They can do everything. They can, of course, run the ball and catch out of the backfield. So it's great having those two, and you know, Isaiah Wilson as well. I think he brings a different dynamic to the running back room too. So I think we have a nice little, you know, three-headed monster. And shoot, even behind those three guys, I mean, we also have some ballers too. So the running back room is stacked for sure.
Justin, AG has talked to us a lot about this summer about your maturity and how you're able to handle shedding any of the outside noise and whatnot. How are you able to do that? Is it because of the places you've been to, the markets you've been, and how much do you think that'll help you here?
A lot's gone into that, to be honest. I would say experiences for sure, but also I think my relationship with God. I don't play for anybody's approval. You guys are all going to have your opinion, and I'm never going to take any of it personal. And like I said, it doesn't matter. Y'all can have an opinion, y'all can say this and that, but at the end of the day, our lives are going to change. If I say something to y'all right now, the same thing's going to happen. It doesn't really affect life. It doesn't affect the way we live. So if you look at it from that perspective, the bigger perspective, like no matter what anybody says, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It has zero meaning to me, to anybody, and God controls everything that happens in this world. So like I said, I just let people be and let them speak, and like I said, that's not going to affect me whatsoever.
Take time to get to that for you. Obviously, you go to Chicago. There's a lot of expectations.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I definitely had to learn that over the year, and I would say I just kind of got like this the past 6 months, to be honest with you. I think I would kind of let opinions kind of shape my opinion, but like I said, you can't really do that because you'll start thinking like those opinions. But like I said, I'm glad I've grown out of that stage, and I'm glad that the only approval that I need is from my teammates, my coaches, and God ultimately. So
You said 6 months ago. What triggered that 6 months ago?
yeah, I mean, me really getting closer to God, like I said, my relationship, me reading the Bible every day, and if I'm being real, there's some great lines, some great wisdom that I didn't even know of. So I'm low-key addicted to like getting in my Bible each and every day, just because I learn something new every day and I'm able to apply it in my everyday life. But I mean, I was sleeping on reading the Bible earlier in my life, and I wish I would have started earlier. So I encourage y'all to go read a little bit, start in Proverbs, and move on from there.
Do you think that will help you be more successful?
I know it will for sure.
Going back to Saturday, you mentioned your touchdown run. Isaiah Davis, kind of puts his hands up, in coverage there. Is that something you noticed on the field mid-play, or is that something you guys talked about?
I low-key did notice it, yeah. His defender, he had his back turned, and I felt Isaiah kind of go to the back corner, but I actually didn't see it till after that he put his hands up. I thought he was just running around. So it was a heads-up play by him, and just a great football play.
Justin, it's not a practice. I mean, if you look at this, it's not like a preseason game. It's these joint practices. How much do you think you got out of this? How much do your teammates get out of this?
I think we get a lot out of it. Like I said, we compete. We get to compete against another team, and their defense is elite. Their D-line is elite. So I think it's great work for our O-linemen, and just competitive. Of course, being smart, but just competing against other guys, other teams, and seeing different looks that we might see during the season from other teams. It's great work for sure.
You made a beauty of a throw to Tyler Johnson and balled it in. He flexed the crowd. What have you made of Tyler Johnson and his production, in training camp?
Yeah, I think Tyler's a great receiver. He's reliable. He's in the right spots, and of course he has hands. He can make great plays, and I think last year he showed what he can do with the balls in the hand after the catch. So it's great having him out there, and great to see him making plays out there. Sure.
Do you feel like this offense is more tailored to your skill set than maybe some of the other offenses you've been in?
I mean, we haven't really been too much time. I mean, we'll see how the season goes in. I don't want to. That's a tricky question, just because I don't want to knock the other offenses that I've been in. So we'll see. I know Tanner's gonna dial it up for the players that we have, and he's gonna try to fit everybody's skill set. So yeah.